Like Adam said, I was a recipient of a blood transfusion in 2020 that ultimately saved my life. If we rewind the clock back to then, we're talking about COVID and things were going on. I went in for a routine dental checkup, which required some fillings and whatnot. And my dentist said, "Hey, you're bleeding a lot. You're like bleeding like an 80-year-old on Coumadin, which is not good for a 35-year-old man." So I go get checked out at the hospital, and my white blood cell count was 256,000 when it should only be 15,000. So something's wrong. So we proceed to drive to Peoria, Illinois, and get checked out, and literally my blood would turn to jelly before they could get it from my body down to the lab at the hospital. So that's an issue. So we were literally within an hour of me passing out and not being able to wake up from it. So they gave me a blood transfusion, which ultimately saved my life, so they could keep me alive. And then I also received plasma and platelets and a whole bunch of other stuff, because at the time it was an advanced state of CML leukemia with blast crisis, which is signs of ALL leukemia, which is even more severe. So when I was diagnosed, I was within an hour of dying and not even aware of it. So thanks to ImpactLife to ultimately save my life during that time, and during that first few weeks I was in the hospital getting chemotherapy, I received several blood transfusions and several units of plasma to keep me alive during the chemotherapy process. So then after that process, it was chemotherapy for about 8-9 months, and then I received a stem cell transplant at Mayo Clinic, which took approximately 80 days. And I lived up at Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota for 80 days, and been in remission since. This is going on year number 3, correct, Angie, of being in remission, thank the Lord. And it was really my faith in our Lord Jesus Christ that got me through all that during the time. Because, you ask yourself, well, why, Lord, did I have to go through all this? Why did all these certain things have to be in place and happen? Like, why did I have to be so sick? Well, I guess apparently I must have had to been so sick to receive a blood transfusion, and 3 years later end up doing a charity car crush for RC Fest, which ultimately impacts ImpactLife. So there's always a reason behind all the mysterious things that the Lord does in your life, and no matter what trials and tribulations are happening in your life, surely it's God steering you in a direction that you never know what's going to happen. So just being obedient to Him and serving Him. And this is why we have Against the Grain monster truck. We use this monster truck as basically a flying billboard to display our faith and tell our story. It wasn't, there's no other way to describe it, really. I mean, how do you write a story like that if it wasn't God doing it, really? So super thankful to be here. We're going to go out here and crush some cars. It's going to be loud. It's going to be fun. We're going to have some destruction. We're going to pancake that Suburban for sure. And Adam's going to come out here too, and he's going to jump his replicated truck of mine, which we will have bodies and sticker kits available for sale. He's going to jump his truck over my truck and see how that goes, and then we're going to crush some cars. So hang on. We'll be with you shortly.